Let's take you live now to Scarborough. The mayor is making a long-term care announcement. Let's listen in.
In terms of the treatment that we can, care that we can offer to them. I am very pleased to be here with Deputy Mayor Michael Thompson, who has the responsibility for this area of city government and himself is deeply committed to the well-being of our seniors and those requiring long-term care, and to Cynthia Lai, who similarly has taken a keen interest in these issues during her time as a councillor. And what we're here to announce is the plan to build a new long-term care home in Scarborough right here at 4610 Finch Avenue East. You can see behind me, this is a building that was a former police training facility that is now essentially used for storage and a parking lot. And the mandate of Create TO, and I'm very pleased that the CEO of Create TO, Vic Gupta, is also here with us today, is to look at all of the city's land holdings and determine what the best, most strategic, most effective, most cost-effective use is that we can make of that land. And surely, I think most people would agree that to have a building and a parking lot like this in an area where there's a growing seniors population is not the best use of that land, and now we're going to make a much better use of that land. Pardon me. The new facility will be slated to open in 2026 and will replace Carefree Lodge. And depending on the final project and its configuration, this new long-term care home will house between 336 and 365 residents. Currently, Carefree Lodge, just by way of comparison, has 127 beds. So we know that this is going to be an important way not just of serving our seniors better, but also of serving more of them. The city has a vital role in looking after people in long-term care. The city owns and operates 10 long-term care residences, and we saw through the pandemic how important these kinds of residences were to the well-being of our residents, and in particular of the seniors. And that can bring a degree of comfort and calm to our families as well, who worry, of course, about the well-being of their senior relatives. That is why we're investing $175 million out of our capital budget to make this project come to life and to see this new facility in our city. I'm often asked by people about the budget because people understand that we have to pay police officers and bus drivers and people who collect solid waste and all the others who deliver those kind of bread and butter city services that come and are in front of people each and every day. But when it comes to our capital, it's often not as obvious how we allocate the precious taxpayers' money. This investment of $175 million to create quite literally hundreds of new and the very best long-term care residence spaces for even more seniors, I think gives people an example of how this money is invested and how important it is to make these investments as we go on. A new long-term care residence will help us to reduce wait times, address the needs of Toronto seniors who need access to long-term care, while also at the same time ensuring that they have access to top-notch facilities, nothing but the best. This new facility will deliver more beds, at least meet the new provincial design standards, and perhaps if we can do better, we will, and to help improve services for residents in the area. Opportunities for co-location are being examined for this very site so that you can find ways to make even better use of the site than for a long-term care residence, which is a great use for it. And that could include adult day program facilities, a community hub, a paramedic post. These things have yet to be determined, but they're all being examined with the view to saying we have this piece of land. It is presently being dramatically underutilized as a vacant building essentially for storage and a parking lot, and that we're going to make better use of it. So a detailed transition plan will be developed and implemented, and that will include, of course, being sensitive and caring with respect to the movement of residents to the new location when it is ready for occupancy. For now, the residents of Carefree will continue to receive care in their current long-term care residence until the new building is ready, and it may not be confined to people in Carefree. There may be others, of course, given the size of this development that will be able to move in here. We're working as quickly as possible to see this come to life. And as I said, it's expected that it would be ready for occupancy in 2026, but we haven't wasted any time moving forward with the procurement process for the project design, which is to commence later this year. And the good news is this isn't the only project like this. Overall, the city has 5 long-term care plans for redevelopment, and that includes Castleview Witchwood Towers, Fudger House, Lakeshore Lodge, Seven Oaks, and of course this one. So that we are looking to make sure that we can do something we have done historically and consistently, and it's been recognized, not just by people passing opinions, but by the facts. And that is that we set as a city a higher standard, and we achieve that higher standard in terms of the care of people that are entrusted to our care. All of these developments, these 5 long-term care plans that are homes that are planned for redevelopment, will upgrade 1,232 existing beds and add 978 beds. So at one and the same time, we will significantly improve the quality of the physical surroundings in which our seniors are cared for, and add almost 1,000 new opportunities for them to be cared for just in our city-operated long-term care residences alone. So I'm very proud to stand here and announce this initiative, because it means we're committed to expanding the current system, maintaining its high quality that has been recognized, and making it better for our residents. We have seen, including during the challenging time of the pandemic, that city-operated long-term care residences set and meet a higher standard, and I'm absolutely committed to see us continue to do that as we go forward. This significant investment by itself is in new building and in renovated building across the long-term care system is tangible proof of our firm intention to build on the great progress that we have made, and to make sure that our long-term care residents, that we do even better for them in the future. I hope everyone here can see the clear commitment that this represents, that we make as a city to seniors by way of this new facility and all of the other new and renovated facilities that are in the plans and budgeted for. We know that in order to address the aging population, and Toronto is not exempt from that, and the need for this type of service, that we need to take what we have and build on it and make it better and bigger. That work is underway, and it's on top of the other changes that we have implemented at the city. Just last week, I had the honor of making 2 seniors-related announcements that further show the commitment that we are making to seniors in this city. First, we launched our Made in Toronto Care TO pilot at the Lakeshore Lodge, another of our long-term care residences, and officially celebrated the creation in the same week of the Toronto Seniors Housing Corporation. Both are clear steps, along with today's announcement, that we are committed to seniors in this city and to ensuring they have access to the services and support they need, and not just ordinary services and support, but services and support at the highest of standards. The emotionally centered care model that we announced last week is something that is innovative, it is entirely appropriate, and it focuses on the individual. Less rule books and less by-the-book, cookie-cutter solutions, and more individual caring and treatment for the people that are entrusted to us and kept in our care. And also the Seniors Housing Corporation allows for the same thing, for seniors to be treated as seniors and provided with the kinds of wraparound supports they need in seniors housing. I want to make mention of one more thing before I cede the podium to the Deputy Mayor, and that is the involvement of Create TO. Create TO is something that was created during my administration. I very specifically campaigned on it and said that I thought that it was necessary for us to make much more strategic use of city-owned land. A lot of it lies dormant. Other parts are underutilized in the context of a growing city where land is among the scarcest of resources, and the city is an owner of quite a bit of that land. I've mentioned that this used to be a police training facility, and now, with the help of Create TO, it is going to be reimagined into a space that is going to help seniors, and with the possibility, in fact, the probability of many other uses. This is what Create TO is all about. This is why it was created, and it is to maximize the strategic use of city-owned land. Rather than have a space like this sit and potentially not be used to its full potential, we can now say that it will be a future site of a new and better and bigger long-term care residence, among other things. And I think that is something that we can all get behind as residents of the City of Toronto. So I want to say a special word of thanks to Create TO and its team, and to its CEO, Vic Gupta, for their continued efforts to reimagine our city and the city-owned properties that we have. I think many of you are familiar from past discussions we've had of the pieces of land, principally downtown, but not exclusively, that are being reimagined to take pieces of land that were, for example, an old, now closed bus terminal, and turn that into a hub of affordable housing and other community facilities and supports that we can be proud of right in the heart of the downtown of our city. Today's announcement is good news for seniors. It's good news for Scarborough. it's good news for the entire city of Toronto. And I'm very much looking forward to seeing it completed in 2026. And we're going to stick to that timetable because the need is there, the land is here, the project can move forward with dispatch, which we're going to do in 2022 to get it started and get it done. I would now like to call on someone who is himself a champion of community supports and of seniors services in our city, and that is our Deputy Mayor from Scarborough.
Listening in live, Mayor John Tory making an announcement in Scarborough, a new long-term care facility at 4610 Finch Avenue East is being built. Occupancy expected sometime in 2026.